Thank you for joining us today on Earthfile. Welcome to the program. I'm Ayola Kasim. Increase in population, booming economy, rapid urbanization, and the rise in community living standards have greatly accelerated the municipal solid waste generation rate in developing countries like Nigeria. Municipalities, usually responsible for waste management in the cities, have the challenge to provide an effective and efficient system to the residents. However, they often face problems way beyond the ability of the authorities to tackle these challenges. Today on Earthfile, we look at how some of these problems can be resolved in Nigeria. Do stay with us.
Nigeria is located in western part of Africa on the Gulf of Guinea and has a total mass land area of 923,768 kilometers square. It's the most populous nation in Africa and the largest economy in Africa. That's according to the International Monetary Fund IMF 2015, with a GDP of over $235.9 billion US dollars. It has 36 states and a federal capital territory. The population of Nigeria is estimated at over 150 million. With the increase in population, it's expected that solid waste generation will be on the increase. Experts have warned that the challenge of solid waste management in the country has increased. Waste disposal is said to be one of the major environmental problems that developing countries like Nigeria are faced with. Health hazards, traffic congestion, and blockage of drainages are some of the problems caused by improper and inefficient waste management practices in Nigeria. For decades, collection and disposal of waste have been a problem, and waste generated have always been on the rise. Waste, as the term implies, is any solid, liquid, or gaseous substance or material which may be a scrap or superfluous, refuse, or reject, disposed of or required to be disposed as unwanted. Waste poses serious environmental and health problems, promotes insect vectors like mosquitoes and flies, rats and mice, causes fire hazards, flooding of streams, development of aquatic weeds, odor problems, and so on.
We are not doing waste management in Nigeria because waste management encompasses waste collection, waste storage, waste transportation, waste segregation, waste treatment, and disposal. In Nigeria, we are only doing waste disposal. We are not managing waste. That is the crux of the matter. We are throwing away waste, and we have not recognized the value in waste, the economic value. That's why we believe it's a material I don't need, it's a material is rejected, it's of no use to me, therefore I throw it away. That is the problem. And of course, the nature and character of the waste has changed. As our lifestyles change, living standards change, you find that your household waste now contains electronic waste. People throw phones, all sorts of things into it. They contain medicine. They contain all sorts of things. They are no more just food waste and so on and so forth. So they need to be managed. There is what we call waste management hierarchy. Waste avoidance, try to avoid landfilling. What we do is we just throw away waste into any available space, whether land, whether marshland, wetland or river, anywhere. And what is it doing? We are contaminating the environment, causing serious health problems to people, and furthermore, we are losing valuable materials because the waste is a cocktail of everything. Inside the waste, you will find mobile phone, you will find plastic, you will find this. Some of those materials can still be recycled.
Other environmental effects include air pollution, which includes odor, smoke, noise, dust. Not only does waste pose a health hazard, the refuse workers also face some threats, which includes parasites infection and infected cuts resulting from skin contact with refuse. Others include hazards on disposal sites, injuries from glass, razor blades, syringes, tissue damage or infection through respiration, ingestion or skin contact. Ignorance coupled with poverty may be adduced to the habit of most people across the states, especially in the densely populated areas. That is why waste management experts from different parts of the country converge on Lagos State to attend the National Waste Summit under the theme Developing a Sustainable Framework for Waste Management in Nigeria. The summit was organized so that experts can discuss, share experiences, and find solutions to the problem of waste disposal.
I think we need to evoke some sustainability keys. Number one, about explaining the vision and having this shared vision among our people, but also establish new values within the society. And those values, we need to express them by demanding service from politicians. All right. And beyond that also, we need to get the economics of this practice right. Once the economics is good, once I know I can go into this program and make it profitable without the government involvement, then naturally it will be a business that will sustain itself. The possibility there is to make sure that we look at the resource itself, the waste itself, look at it as a form of resource and be able to establish the economic values of those resource components in the waste itself, the waste stream. Let us have the economic value within the waste stream and be able to establish those values and create the market for them. And what you dump on the landfill, definitely there's a hand waiting to receive it. Why will you go to the landfill? If there's a process that can turn it around, why must you go to the landfill? So we're yet to evolve that strategy. We're already moving that direction, no doubt about it, but we need to sustain it. We need to build on the sequence that has been established and not break that sequence. So if you're able to build on that sequence, then we'll get there very soon.
In Nigeria, there are various ways in which waste is collected, many of them unconventional.
It's basically extending the producers, their activities beyond just producing, getting it to the point of collecting back the packaging materials so that we reduce the waste that goes to the dump sites. The waste such as the plastic bottles, cardboard papers, whatever, and even the after use, such things like batteries, tires, and what have you. Because we have problems with biodegradability, most of these products cannot be degraded. The part of the slides I showed gave the time frame for each waste stream, the time it takes for each of these waste streams to be biodegraded. So we encourage the producers. For us in Nigeria, mostly we are not a producing country. Most things we import. So we also defined a producer in the Nigerian context to also mean the importer. So whatever product you're bringing in, just know that you still have responsibility for the after sales. You must collect back the material, the packaging material, and ensure that it is recycled. So as governments, we have to now prepare guidelines for all the sector players, all the stakeholders, including the consumers, to key into it. And in keying into it, we have given, in the guidelines, we have given the roles and responsibilities to every key stakeholder. For it to be very functional, you have to have somebody coordinating that is a non-profit organization, recognized legally, meaning it must be a legal entity that would have registered with corporate affairs. That organization is called the Producer Responsibility Organization. For Nigeria, we started by using two major sectors, the food and beverage sector and the electronic sector. Electronic sector, because of the problems associated with the electronic waste. Remember the time we were having a lot of electronic equipment in the guise of being functional. They will bring so much of it into the country and we set them ablaze, burn them. A lot of chemicals are emitted that cause all sorts of health problems onto us. But we are able to nip it at the bud.
Some of the contributory factors to these challenges include inadequate regulatory framework that has manifested in lack of interest of the private sector investment in service delivery. That's infrastructure, uncoordinated institutional functions, low political will, and low capacity to discharge duties, as well as poor data information for planning, wrong attitude of waste generator, amongst others.
Disposal, we have to do away with it and go into waste management. If you manage the waste by collecting and separating into different things, because in your waste you have recyclable materials like plastic, like paper, like glass, like metal. You see that the scrap metal industry is a big industry among the small and medium enterprise people. But all these things go to refuse dump. That's why you find scavengers there, human beings, 24/7, that's their daily bread. They now do this manually, of course, using crude methodologies. They don't protect themselves. And inside the waste, you have hospital waste. They can even catch AIDS and all sorts of funny things. So what we are now saying is we need to do away with landfill. Don't throw away things on land anymore. Manage them. Waste is a valuable resource. There's a lot of valuable materials. The mobile phone you throw into your dustbin, for example, contains gold and silver. The circuit board of mobile phone or computer contains gold and silver. So when you throw into the dustbin, at the refuse dump, those scavengers will break them up, take away the circuit board, and sell it for peanuts to people who export them, and then burn the rest.
I know currently there are various public and private sector partnerships, and we see that every day in Lagos, the PSPs that are into waste collection. A total sum of 28 billion naira has been invested in waste management by both local and foreign investors. There are opportunities. So first and foremost, I think there has to be an identification of the opportunities inherent, because the concern of the private sector is return on investment. They want to see how they will get their mileage, how they will get their returns. They want to ensure that the ventures are profitable. Those opportunities have to be identified. The business models have to be tested and to be found to be profitable. And I think it will be easier subsequently for everybody to even want to find where they can invest their resources in the waste management sector. The challenge is right now is that the opportunities in some cases are not very clear.